I don't want to be on the news. Don't put me on camera. I was standing in line to get into the supermarket today, and the person just before me was a surly older gentleman who was not wearing a mask or facial covering, and appropriately wearing a biker jacket with a big patch that read, "Fuck helmet laws." The store has someone at the door, usually a teenager or an elderly greeter, whose job is to ensure everyone entering the store has a face covering per their nationwide corporate mandate and under our state law. As the man arrived at the greeter, who could not have been a day under 65, she said, "Excuse me, you need a face covering to enter." He said to the old woman in this macho authoritative voice, "No, I don't, it's okay," and tried to walk into the store. The old woman goes, "Actually, sir, you do. It's not just policy anymore, it's the law." And he starts spouting off about how it's an unconstitutional law and how the greeter isn't in a position to enforce laws. The guy is saying, "Look, you're holding the line. If the masks really do work, then everyone who's wearing one is safe, right? And if they don't, then why do you care?" And she was getting kind of desperate at this point and said, "Well, sir, because I could lose my job if I let you in there." This is where I come in. I hadn't spoken up before because this was a big guy and I'm just a student who's no good in a confrontation. I figured adding myself into the mix would only make the situation worse. So I took out my phone and started recording. I figured he would be less likely to do something violent to the greeter or escalate further if he knew he was on camera. Here's what I had forgotten. I was wearing a shirt from a 5K that was sponsored by our local news. So had Channel X Eyewitness News in huge print across the front. The guy's wife goes, "Good Lord, Howie, the news is filming. What if my work sees this? Jesus." So he turns to me and starts telling me he doesn't consent to be on TV and starts making a speech how we are all treading on the Constitution, not respecting people's right to bodily autonomy or privacy. I'm trying to tell him I'm not with the news and he's like, "I don't care if you're on the clock or not. I don't want to be on camera and I won't be forced to wear anything I don't want to wear. When we did, we forget that this is America?" Now, this is where it got crazy. The line stretched all the way around the building and people towards the end realizing it hadn't moved in a while and were coming up to investigate. An even bigger, more macho guy comes lumbering up and asks what the problem is. Sees this guy going off at the terrified elderly greeter, me shaking holding my phone, and it's like, sir, what's the problem right now? People are trying to shop." The maskless guy tells him, and I quote, "Get away from me. This here isn't your business." The more macho guy proceeds to whip out the badge and identify himself as an off-duty police officer, and that the law is in fact his business. First, he tries to have the cop arrest me for putting him on the news without his consent, but I just played dumb at that point. My adrenaline was through the roof, and if I had been able to retain presence of my mind, I would have left by that point and shopped somewhere else. The biker guy is now saying to the cop, "This isn't what you went into the academy dreaming about, man, is it? You're not stopping bad guys, you're forcing regular people to go against their beliefs." Cop said, "No one is forcing you to do anything, sir. You are free to make your own choices. You can put on a mask or you can go home. Decide which you would like to do, because there is a line here." The biker guy keeps saying he isn't doing anything illegal and he has the right to shop in a public business, and the cop just shakes his head and starts quoting the official mask law that the guy is breaking at him. But the biker guy is just talking over him at that point and the cop realizes he isn't getting anywhere. So the cop says, "Look, I don't want to escalate this, but you're not giving me a choice in this situation. If you won't leave of your own volition, you're trespassing," and starts explaining what will happen. The biker guy is ready to stand firm and says he knows he's in the right, but his wife is smarter and says, "Jesus, Howie, are you insane? The man is a police officer," and very ashamedly apologizes as she forces him to leave with various threats. Took nearly 15 minutes to get into the store, caused a major backlog of shoppers, and made a poor elderly woman fear for her safety. Just wear the mask or get your groceries delivered. I mean, seriously, people, of all the hills to die on. "No, Karen, I cannot help you go to the bathroom." In high school, I worked for a national movie theater chain. While they have since changed them, the uniform at the time consisted of navy blue trousers and a red polo. Nearby in the same plaza, there were several restaurants and fast food places. Among these were a Panda Express. During my 15-minute break, I've been at Panda and in line ordering and waiting to pay for my food. I was minding my own business and hoping that I could get out of there quickly enough to have time to inhale my orange chicken prior to darting back to the box office where my break ended. I'm a bit zoned out, so I became rather startled upon an abrupt ahem, accompanied by a tap on my shoulder. I turned and I took in sight of what we all know now to be a Karen. Me. Oh, sorry, was I in your way? This is my default line of thinking and I have terrible social anxiety. Karen. I said I need to go to the bathroom. Me pointing, well, it's over that way, I think. I know that, obviously. Me confused at this point because I'm not all on the way of her getting to the bathroom and now she's admitted to knowing where it is. I don't know what. Karen shouting, I need the key. At this point, it's time for me to pay for my food. Remember, I'm on the outside of the glass counter and waiting in a line. I figure maybe she is trying to get past me to ask the cashier for the bathroom key, so I step back and make room for her to go ahead of me. She doesn't. Karen, I asked you for the bathroom key. Do you not know how to do your job? I finally realizes that she thinks I'm employed there. I guess maybe it's because my work shirt is red and so are the employee uniforms there. Me awkwardly pointing at the cinema logo on my polo. I'm just on my break. I don't. She must not have looked at the gestures I made to the uniform of the company and actually employed by. Karen, is this your manager? Turns to the cashier. Your employee is so rude. Just because she's on her break, she's refusing to help me to go to the bathroom. She needs to be fired. Cashier, madam, she doesn't work here. Will you be purchasing a meal? Our restrooms are for customers only. Karen sputters, then turns and storms out of the place to terrorize some other establishment with a public restroom. They totally allow people to use bathrooms without buying food, by the way. I think they just wanted to have her leave the store because of the scenes she just made. Clean up the trash. A few things first, I grew up around snakes. I've owned a few different breeds. I know how to handle snakes. I also know what breeds of snakes live in my area. Cast me, K, Karen. I was out at a park where the trail went around the lake, and the section of a trail I was walking on was about 10 feet wide. There was grass a little higher than my ankles and a few bush-like trees that grew over the water. This is important. I was looking around one of the trees when I hear someone clear their throat. I didn't think anything of it because allergies are super common this time of year. Karen. Excuse me. I look over and she's doing one of those bent over waves at me. K. Yeah, hi. Excuse me. Me. Hi. I'm confused as to why she needs my attention. Karen. There is garbage all over the park. I'm trying to have a nice day out. Yeah, I know it sucks. I'm trying to have a nice day too. I'm dumber than a box of rocks, so I didn't understand why she was telling me. But I understand not wanting litter all over the park. Karen. So, clean it up. Me. What? Yeah, clean it up. I was getting kind of pissed because she was talking to me like I was stupid, not like a normal person. Me. Go do it yourself, lady. Karen. What did you just say to me? Yeah, you heard me. Karen. But it's your job. At this point, I realized what was going on, so I just chuckled to myself. I turned back around to continue looking for snakes. She starts yelling at me, and because I have 3 younger siblings, I tune her out. It also helps I have a CAPD. I can hear some of it, however, and she was saying I was disrespectful, something about her son, and then starts cussing at me. Just as I'm about to move to the next spot, I see a black rat snake. I grab it and quickly stand up. It was about 2.5–3 feet long. Black rat snakes can grow up to 6 feet long. Karen had a delayed reaction. Maybe she thought it was a stick. It was like something out of a movie. She was from enraged to terrified. She started backing away, dragging her son with her. Karen, you're not very ladylike. Then the wild Karen fled back to her hovel. I wasn't trying to scare Karen on purpose. I just found what I was looking for. You should never purposely scare someone with any animal because the animal could get hurt. So that's the story for today's video. If you enjoyed this and want to watch more videos, then click here for more stories or go check out the info card in the right corner for more videos.